aquaculture is so many things. First, it is finding new active ingredients for medicine and cosmetics. It is preserving biological diversity and ecological balance for marine and plants, animal plants. First and foremost, it is the major food source, providing 50% of the world's population of animal-based protein. And it's the only thing that can stop overfishing and the ocean abuse. For more than 20 years, aquaculture has shown an average growth rate of 10% per year. As we speak, the demand keeps growing. Israel is considered as one of the founding countries of industrialized aquaculture and holds a record in technological development within the field. The Israeli industry struggles with various regulatory difficulties, with barriers while competing with countries where aquaculture is subsidized. In 2021, the State of Israel announced the development of the sea as a national resource, and the Ministry of Agriculture passed a government decision with investments of 170 million shekels for the development of marine and desert agriculture in Eilat area. And today, as we are speaking again, the Ministry of Agriculture is planning a strategic plan for aquaculture in Israel. AquaculTech is the Israeli innovation community. It was established by the Ministry of Economy, Ministry of Agriculture, Israel Innovation Authority, and Israel Innovation Institute to map and connect those involved in the field, identify barriers, mediate with government officials, and help market the field globally. Overall, developing an ecosystem for aquaculture. Israel Innovation Institute is supporting the establishment of a new innovation center for climate and aquaculture in Israel. I urge you to join this center to make the breakthrough point for aquaculture in Israel. I'm very happy to be here today at the Biotech Summit and to host this panel to discuss aquaculture, the most sustainable food production industry with the fastest growing rate in the world, to ensure the future food security of the world over the growing population. First question is for Flavio. First, I'll present my, we have gathered here experts today to discuss the limitation and expectation of the current state protein. Sharing the stage here with me are Mr. Flavio Corsin, Director of Partnership at Aqua-Spark, Michael Isakov, CEO of Biofishency, Dr. Josef Melchner, co-founder and CEO of Gili Ocean Technologies and GoSmart Precision Farming. Okay, Dr. Nitza Kardish, CEO of Trendlines. Sorry. Flavio, when examining the potential of new investment, what kind of balance are you looking for between financial gains and environmentally sustainable impact? And can you give us some examples?
Thanks, and thanks for inviting me. Balance. Actually, for us, we are a bit of an unusual investor. So for us, there is no difference between the impact that you are having for an investment, the environmental and social sustainability, and the returns. So we believe that actually if you do the right thing and invest in technologies that have a real solution, you're going to make a financial killing. That's why we are doing what we are doing. So if you look at, for example, we just finished off, not published yet, our impact report for 2022, finished this morning actually. So we more than doubled our impact. Environmental footprint reduction, financing smallholders, providing smallholder connected with the technologies, reduction of production of alternative feed ingredients, reduction of pollution. So that's how we measure impact. And between 2021 and 2022, we also generated for our investors 24% of net returns. Similar type of picture was between 20 and 2021. I'm not here to pitch you the fund, but I'm here to tell you that basically it's possible to have the impact and have the returns. And that is the reason why we think that there is no difference. But there is a trick to it. So often you have funds, that, close-ended funds that basically want to give you a lot of cash and then after 5 and 7 years, take it out. That doesn't work really when you're talking about aquaculture, doesn't work when I talk about this type of solutions, because you are building new technologies, you have to plug them in, you have to see how they work, probably you have a couple of pivots there, and that you can generate the returns only after quite some time. You ask for an example. I mean, eFisher is the first unicorn narwhal, you know, the thing with the horn, in AquaTech globally, and it's a company that when we invested, they were very, very small. They were making hundreds of units. These are AquaTech, you know, basically having sensors. You listen to the fish, well, you look at how the fish behave, and you listen to the shrimp so that you know that they are hungry or not. And then based on that, you disburse the feed. But then they connected to financial institutions to finance the feed so that then they can take also the product to market. So basically becoming an end-to-end. And again, this company attracted SoftBank, Sequoia, they ran the Series D earlier this year. That's an example of success. We hope to have a couple of those in our portfolio. Maybe this guy is here as well. So, but that's just an example of what is possible, but keeping the impact and the returns in mind at the same time. No need to have trade-offs.
And what should investors avoid when looking into those investments?
Well, I tell you what we avoid. So, of course, we have an avoid list. You have the things, you know, like, you know, negative impact on biodiversity, all those type of things. We avoid making investments into aquaculture that is not competitive to livestock, even chicken. For example, if you measure it with a feed conversion ratio. So it has to be competitive, or at least in a journey to be competitive. But for us, I mean, I'm going to tell you what others say as well, I'm sure. I mean, you need to have a strong team for the first investment. Strong team and strong technology. Later, you might have to work on the technology, or you might have to work a little bit in the follow-on investment. It's almost like going to counseling. You don't go to counseling before getting married. You want to have a good partner. And then you get married, and then you might go to counseling afterwards. It's the same thing with investments. So other things to avoid is building on what I was saying before, technologies that are not really fixing something important for the future of the planet. So something that makes sense now and might not make sense in the next 5 to 10 years will not make a killing. Will make some returns at some point, good. The reputational risk is going to be very high. It's basically finding those solutions that are long-term solutions, because we are here to stay. I mean, the population is going to be growing. We're going to reach more or less 10 billion. Then it's going to go down a little bit, but still we have to develop a food system that feeds 10 billion people, and we have to do it quite quickly. So for us, it's really finding those solutions and avoiding things that are not offering those solutions.
Thank you. The next question is for Michael. In the world of stricter regulations and changing investment trends, how does Biofishency help secure the investment throughout economic performance?
Yeah, so thank you again for the invitation. It's a great place to be in and present. We clearly see the fast, and Flavio have mentioned this, we clearly see the very fast growing demand for animal protein, and the fact that fish is a great source for that, presenting outstanding feed conversion ratio that the world has to maintain in order to feed the world while maintaining this planet. Our job in this case is quite similar to what had happened in the renewable energy, where on early stages, renewable energy was not feasible economically. Now we would like to show that we can grow a lot of fish in sustainable way, meeting all the regulations, okay, while maintaining a reasonable ROI for the investors. Because if we will not show that we can maintain A, the regulation requirements, and B, a good portion for the investors, it will not fly, exactly as that had happened in the renewable energy. And that's what we do. We take technology, we make it more sustainable, more economical, in order to show that we can bring the major impact as well as the disruptive approach in this world.
What is the added value, Michael? What is the added value to your customers do you bring with a double bottom line strategy, financial and environmentally?
Okay, so the answer goes alongside with the previous answer with regards to the fact that we have to show that by using advanced technology, we can actually minimize the amount of capex while well improving the OPEX. And in this case, it's a major reduction on our case of energy, improving the yield, but also very important is the skill set of employees and manpower that is involved. The world today would like everything to be autonomous. Fishermen, in our case, is a profession that is history. So everybody would like to work with their notebooks, control while generating with almost zero input and running at the location. And that's exactly what we do and what we offer. A way to make it fully autonomous, economical, good ROI, and this is the approach that will maintain and enable a good future for all of us while providing proteins.
And I want to add that as the startup nation and innovation country, Israel cannot allow herself to say we want to eat, we want the food, but we don't want the production in our backyard. So the solutions come from Israel to the world, and we should support the solution developers. Josef, everyone are talking about AI as the next big thing in technology and innovation. How do your company use AI in aquaculture?
That's quite simple. We are using GPT chat. We are writing on a GPT chat, how can I do better on aquaculture? No, actually, aquaculture is, as everybody said here, is a fast-growing sector. But the resource and means for data analysis, for collecting the information, to know what's going on underwater is very limited right now. So what we're doing... עובד? עובד. Okay. עכשיו שומעים? Okay. So, as I said, the means in aquaculture for collecting the information, collecting the data, analyzing the data, even in real time, are not existing right now. We can see that there are new startups all over the world trying to overcome and to answer to this kind of a challenge. What we are doing, we believe in continuous monitoring. We design a system that it's autonomous system in every cage, every pond, every tank. We are designated for all aquaculture habitat to collect data in a continuous mode, 365, 24/7, and this is the only way to understand aquaculture, to understand fish behavior. There are a lot of unknown factors in aquaculture that influence the performances, which is influence also the ROI, the profitability, and etc. So only with continuous monitoring, with digital means, which we are using, we embrace the AI using vision, and we have additional sensors. Only the complex of a one-stop operation, a one-stop system that provide the farmer with all the necessary information that he needs in real time, that will improve the performances, that will bring the sector to more sustainable level, and will enable and will open the market of aquaculture and the marine protein to other sectors, to other population in the world, because we can reduce dramatically the growth rate. We can improve dramatically the fish, the growth performances, and this will reduce in the future the cost and the prices of fish, and will bring more population, new population, to be able to consume marine protein, which we know by now this is with all the benefits of marine protein compared to the alternative that we have today. So this is our way how to improve aquaculture to the next stage of from moving this sector from prediction mode into a real-time data sector.
How does big data analysis bring new money to aquaculture market?
That's a good question. The entire valuation of the aquaculture market is underwater. For the investors, it's hard to see, it's hard to evaluate. We can see only few, or let's say a handful of investors that designated in the marine environment, and especially in aquaculture, because it needs to have certain expertise and knowledge from the investors to understand the marine environment, but not that only, also to understand the aquaculture, how it's operate, what is the challenges. And in the sector itself, we have a lot of unknown factors. The farmers, they have a lot of unknown factors that we didn't solve yet. There is a number of disappearing fish, the amount of fish in the cage, the growth performance. We are using right now in the sector in a mode of prediction and a lot of experience and experts that we are seeing them goes away and we don't see them in the field anymore. So AI, data analysis, real-time, and transparency of this analyzed data to the investor to show them what's going on in the sector in real time, to present them the performances in real time, to give them a tool to evaluate aquaculture in real time, that will improve new investors to the sectors, that will improve also investors from the high-tech society because we are using all the high-tech tools, artificial intelligence, image processing, neural network, and et cetera, and this will open the aquaculture market into new investors and new money that will get inside and will improve it to the high level of sustainability and world-class sector.
Next question is for Nitza. Dr. Nitza, you began in the world of agtech and helped to develop an amazing ecosystem in Israel. What are the lessons learned to do the same thing in aquaculture?
First, I'm not sure we have to do the same. I believe that each topic and each country has its own very unique narrative. What you can learn is really an overview to see what happened then, and then to take the information that can be facilitated in this new area, which is not so new. But my motivation was very personal when I started the AgriFood tech ecosystem building in Israel, and it was 12 years ago. Even the term agri-tech wasn't there, or ag-tech. After many years of being an entrepreneur and an investor in medical, biotech, and pharma, I've had enough from sickness, and I said, what can we do to prevent that? Maybe we can go to something that will prevent sickness. And as a former farmer and a biologist, a plant molecular biologist, I thought maybe agriculture. Israel is very famous for its ability, so I had few questions. Three very main ones. It was, is there enough information, science, innovation around? Do we have investors? And who will be the follow-on investors? And the third question was, what will be the government attitude? And for creating an ecosystem, you have to have, I will say the word in Hebrew, but because it's a nice word, a mecholel, like facilitator or enabler, that is fully committed to do it. And I took it as my responsibility. I went to the government and drove them crazy. I went to the academia. Suddenly I found 400 groups that innovate in agriculture. It was amazing, from Elat to the Galilee. And I went to the big partners all over the world, inviting them. And then we created AgriVest, which the biggest conference in investment in agriculture. This year it will be our 11th conference in November 6th. You are all invited. And I was working in contribution to the ecosystem in Israel because I knew a startup needs to have an ecosystem to grow. It's like there is a very famous saying, it says like, it took a village to grow a child, it takes an ecosystem to grow a startup. And since we have so many startups here, and the immigration from entrepreneurs that came from tech, cyber, fintech, you know, suddenly everybody wants to do something good. So they came to the AgriFood, and we were welcoming them. Following those amazing entrepreneurs that came from cyber and fintech and mobile, investors came. Like the generalists, suddenly they want to be in AgriFood tech. So I think that you have to have a facilitator, a very committed one, to say, this is going to happen. And you know, the audience that you have today, it's a very good sign. Very important part, you have to invest in much better food out there.
And what do you think are the next big trends in blue economy?
I'm not sure I'm a very, you know, I'm an expert in blue economy. I'm an expert in aquaculture because we have 4 or 5 companies. By the way, all the ecosystem, my ecosystem is here. We have an investor, Aqua-Spark and partner. We have Biofishency. We invested in Eagle and the Kobe when nobody knows what they are doing, but we believe in them. They were amazing. They convinced us that they know everything about fish. Sometimes we believe them, sometimes no. But now, today we are celebrating 10 years of this company. And this is the CEO. So the next trends, it's my belief, okay? It's using genome, AI, computational biologists as a very powerful tools to increase the ability to grow aquaculture in a much, much more sustainable way. I don't think that we have to produce more. By the way, I think that we have to produce less because 40% of our food is throwing out. So we have to reduce our consumptions and we have to produce less. Everything, starting with children and continue with food, dress, everything. Produce less. And you know, they used to call me the mother of the AgriTech. Now I'm the grandmother of the AgriTech because I have a grandson. This is the most important part. But really, I don't allow them to do more than that. Laughing.
Thank you very much.